So now let's talk about the person who, continuing with this verbiage, is the betrayer. I have a specific question that we had that was emailed in. And this person said, I had an affair 4 years ago. It only lasted a couple of weeks. I stopped it and cut off all communication. My husband and I were recently sharing our hearts, and I came clean about the affair. He now says he doesn't know if he can stay with me. He asked me to move out and give him space and think about our relationship. What should I do?
Okay, let's start from the husband's side, okay?
Good.
I mean, the wife asked the question, but let's start from the husband's side. Does he have a right to be hurt? Yes. What she did was wrong. He has a right to be hurt. Does he have a right in that pain to be angry? Yes, he has a right to be angry. Now, he's wanting her to move out or him to move out. He's wanting some kind of a change to happen there based on what you read. We would not necessarily recommend that. Obviously, it's your choice. You can do with your life what you wish. I'm not going to try to control it. But one of the reasons that it's probably not wise to move out is because neither one of you is in jeopardy. Now, I know that the husband probably feels like he's in jeopardy, and he probably feels like he's in jeopardy because if she cheated on me once, how do I know she's not doing it again? We'll get to that in a couple of minutes. But it doesn't sound like there's any physical jeopardy, at least, going on. And the day you separate, there is to some degree a sense of relief because you're not having to deal with that right in front of your face. And therefore, separating often makes it where it's much more difficult for the couple ever to work on the problem just because they experience some relief by separating. Therefore, we recommend don't separate. Your choice, but we recommend don't separate unless one's in danger. I mean, typically here we refer to physical danger, but even if it were strong emotional danger, like a person that just continues to berate you and control you and dominate you, even if he or she doesn't hit you. All right. Then the husband, in his betrayal, does have the right. And for you people out there who have been betrayed, who may be thinking, I don't think you guys have understood my side yet. Let me see if we can illustrate that we do. That husband has a right to get some kind of a support group to help him with his pain. He has a right to go see his minister if he's religious, his Christian rabbi if he's Jewish, whomever it might be based on what his religion is. He does have a right, absolutely right. As a matter of fact, it might even be extremely healthy for him to see a counselor or a therapist that can help him with his pain. It's typically not quite as effective if he goes to see a counselor asking, what do I do about my marriage? Because think about what the counselor's saying. You walk in here telling me you're very upset, you're very hurt, you're very angry, your spouse has cheated on you, you don't think you can trust your spouse again, and you're saying for me to help you when it comes to your marriage? Here's the easy to help. Divorce. We hear that from people all the time who go see their counselors who tell them that. So if you see a counselor, I would recommend that you ask for help with the pain, the whatever you're going through there. And so the husband has all those rights. Now, are you hearing us, betrayed people? Pardon me.
We're still fighting allergies here in Tennessee.
Allergy season. I apologize for that. I hope I didn't blow your eardrum out.
I didn't give the weekly weather update at the beginning of our show.
I'm so sorry. I just could not control or help that. Now, back to her side. What can she do? Betrayed people really want to know that you know how badly you hurt them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so they also, by the way, they also have trouble believing that you know how much you've hurt them. And part of that is for a really good reason, and part of that's because you really don't. I mean, since you are not in his shoes, then you don't know exactly what it is that he feels.
Right.
But you do have an obligation. You have a responsibility, the best you can, to try to understand, I caused you a lot of pain. Now, how do you do that? Okay, so in this case, it was the wife, right? We would recommend, not only sits down and looks at him and says, I'm so sorry that I did that. I mean, she decided to confess. We would recommend that when he starts asking questions, which would be the typical response, that you try not to seem to be justifying your behavior as you answer the questions. So when he starts asking the questions, you say, well, I was at that party at work the other night, and I drank an extra drink I shouldn't have had, and was not quite as together as I usually am. And, we've been fighting before, and every bit of that sounds like you're about to excuse what you did. And the other person doesn't want to hear an excuse.
Right.
What the other person wants to hear is that you hurt me, you take responsibility and blame for hurting me, and then trying to understand how badly I feel that you hurt me. So when you answer those questions, be extremely careful not to answer in such a way that makes it appear that you're justifying what you did. Now think it through very carefully. Not like, oh, well, I wasn't. No. Try to think what he's going to hear. When I say this, is he potentially going to hear that as my justifying my behavior? If so, don't say it that way, because the betrayed doesn't want to hear any excuses. Mm-hmm. And whatever you do, don't throw it back at the betrayed like, well, if you'd have been a better husband. Don't do that. That's not compassion. That's not understanding. Now, one other thing, and Kimberly can explain this better in just a second, we'd recommend that if he asks questions that ask for a visual, like, well, did you kiss him, which would create a visual that you ask permission not to answer the questions like that. It's just going to put a mental image in your brain and my brain, and it's just not good for either of us. Please give me the grace not to have to answer that. And Kimberly can elaborate on that if you want to know more. And then it's about listening after you answer the questions. Then it's about listening to what he or she feels, in this case, the husband. Some of it is probably going to attack you. You a slut. I thought you were somebody that you're not. Do not defend yourself. Well, me a slut? What about, don't do that. You listen. You don't defend yourself. You don't agree with things you don't think are true. Like, I've never been able to trust you because you've never been trustworthy. Don't say, you're right, I've never been trustworthy. Don't do that. What you do is you go, I see how you feel that. I'm sorry you feel that way. Mm-hmm. So now you're validating their emotions without accepting responsibility you don't have, mm-hmm. and you just keep listening. Now, we'll talk in a couple of minutes, if you wish, Kimberly, about is there ever a time when you stop? And the answer to that is yes. There does come a time when he should stop continuing to say boom, 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 but not right now. For this couple, it's still early. He wants to be understood. Do you know you betrayed me? Yes. He has pain, he has hurt, he wants to make sure you hear that. Now, the second part of that, and I'll wrap it up very quickly, because it was, as you read on the internet, it says, because of the close proximity of that person, they have a chance to hurt you again. Well, they do. But this is then where not only do you reassure him, I'm not going to hurt you that way again, but that's when you start setting up whatever boundaries and criteria that you need to where you can't. That's when you turn over your cell phone and say, every night when I come home, you can check my text messages. I'll turn on the GPS, so anytime I'm not with you, you can see exactly where I am. And if you're thinking, I don't want to be controlled like that, we're not talking about giving up control of your life from now on. We're talking about something for a period of time so that the other person can start trusting you again. You need to rebuild that trust. And the first few months of that really should be where that you almost get treated like you are a prisoner. You're not, because you're volunteering it. But that you're making yourself that vulnerable, that transparent, that accountable, so your spouse can start trusting you again. Now, I went through a whole lot of answers to a short question.
That was a good game plan for all of it. One of the things that we have here at Marriage Helper is coaching. So one of the benefits coaching would give to that situation is right now, the woman who submitted that question is not to the point of accountability because she's trying to just get her husband to talk to her, but he wants out. They have to figure out how to have this conversation first. Our coaches can step in with you as an individual or with you as a couple and figure out together how you can move forward towards rebuilding trust, towards making sure that each person feels heard, towards making sure accountability procedures are being put in place so that this won't happen again. That's the value of the coaching we have. If you want more information about our coaching, you can visit us online at marriagehelper.com, or you can call us at 866-903-0990. I'll say it again. It's 866-903-0990. And if you're watching and you're thinking, well, I live in Dubai or London or Australia, good news. Our coaches work with international clients all the time. It's awesome. We're able to reach thousands of people from all over the world every single month. So we love being able to help you with that. Absolutely.
Right. That invention of Skype and stuff like that has been pretty good about helping us help people. But at least you hear the point. The person who has been betrayed wants to know that you understand that you have hurt him or her deeply. And they have the right for you to communicate that back to him or her. That's what's so crucial here.